When I bought my house in the quiet suburban neighborhood, I was thrilled to finally have a place to call my own. Little did I know, the Homeowners Association, HOA, was about to make my life a living nightmare. It all started when Karen, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, decided to target me. She was notorious for her overzealous rule enforcement, and it wasn't long before I became her next victim. The problem started with my backyard garden. I had planted a few flower beds and vegetables, something I had been doing for years in previous homes, but Karen didn't approve. She came to my door, demanding that I remove everything because it violated HOA standards. I stood my ground, explaining that the garden was well within the boundaries of my property and didn't affect anyone else. But Karen wasn't having it. The next thing I knew, I received a letter from the HOA, warning me to tear down my garden or face a fine. I ignored the letter, confident that I was in the right. But then the bombshell dropped. Karen had convinced the HOA board to impose a $1 million fine for violating community aesthetics. The fine was absurd, more than I had ever imagined or could afford to pay. This was her way of forcing me to comply with her whims, and I wasn't about to let her win. I wasn't going to back down. I researched the HOA's bylaws and discovered a loophole. The HOA didn't own the land they were claiming control over. It was actually part of a common area, but the HOA had no legal right to enforce such a ridiculous fine. Armed with this knowledge, I contacted a lawyer and initiated legal proceedings. I also filed a claim to have the HOA removed from the property altogether. In a surprising turn of events, the court ruled in my favor, declaring that the HOA had overstepped its bounds. The fine was revoked, and the HOA's power was severely limited. To add insult to injury, I was granted the legal right to evict the HOA from the land they had been wrongly occupying. Karen was furious, but there was nothing she could do. The neighborhood finally saw her for who she truly was, and the HOA was forced to change its policies. I had won, not just for me, but for everyone who had been bullied by Karen's overreach. The victory was sweet, and my garden, once again flourishing, stood as a symbol of defiance against tyranny.